Yeah. Oh. Oh. Where's it gonna go? Oh, right into the power line. Oh.
So I saw this video a couple of days ago and it was like, boom, memory unlocked, right? So I was probably about 8 or 9 years old and I had begged my parents to get me a kite. I don't know why I was so fixated on a kite, but I really wanted one. And eventually my parents did get me a kite. And so there was an open field out behind the house that we were living in at that time. And one day it was really windy outside and it was a perfect day for kite flying. And so I was so excited to go out into this field and fly my kite. And so I went out there, had my kite, I was flying it, everything was going good. But that wind was so strong, it was too strong. And it actually ended up yanking the kite out of my hand. And so the kite was dragging the reel along the ground and it would get stuck on a tuft of grass every once in a while. But every time I would go to reach for it, the wind would yank it away again, like it was toying with me or playing with me. And it would do this for a couple of times, like maybe 4 or 5 times it did this. And I was so fixated on trying to grab that kite reel that I didn't even realize that the kite was flying directly toward some power lines at the edge of the field. Well, eventually the kite reached those power lines, got caught on the wires, and finally that reel stopped moving long enough for me to get to it. So I ran up to it and I reached out to grab it one last time, and then snap. The kite string snapped, fluttered to the ground, and my precious kite flew away. I was devastated, heartbroken. I mean, I went back to the house crying so hard, and I told my parents what had happened. And they tried to calm me down. Oh, Dominique, don't worry. Don't cry. We'll get you another one. We'll get you another one. Don't worry. But they never did. So, like, my whole childhood, I never had another kite. And so at the time, I thought, well, maybe they forgot or maybe they couldn't afford it. And now I look back on it because it's like, how expensive is a toy kite for real? Like, they could have gotten me another kite. But I have to imagine that my parents must have sat down and had a conversation like, yeah, no, our child did not have enough sense not to touch that kite string. We cannot get her another kite. And, fair enough. So thanks, mom and dad. Good looking out. But I also look back on that now and I see that what felt like a devastating loss at that time was actually my protection. And I can now apply that same perspective to other areas of my life where I feel like I have experienced a devastating loss. Now, let me say this. If you are going through something very painful right now, whatever it is, trust me, I know that the last thing you want to hear is God's got a greater plan. So let me say this instead. Feel all the feels you need to feel. Know that your pain is real, it is valid, and you have the right to feel however you feel at this moment. Just don't stay there. Take as long as you need, as long as you don't make it permanent, because there is purpose on the other side of that pain. Look at Joseph in the Bible. He went through betrayal, slavery, false accusations, false imprisonment for years before the purpose part ever made any sense. If Joseph had stayed stuck in the pit or remained a slave to the pain or had resigned himself to the prison of pain, he never would have made it to the palace. And yes, the pit, Potiphar's house, the prison, all of that was part of the plan to get to the palace. All that pain was the path to his purpose. So even though it hurts right now, and I know it hurts, maybe, just maybe, what feels like rejection right now is really just redirection. What hurts you right now might be protecting you from something you cannot see. Look, we don't get a version of the Bible of all of the what ifs, but we can imagine, like, what if I had finally caught what I was chasing after that windy day? It could have killed me. It's easy to see the purpose and why I didn't catch that kite string. But to be honest, you may never know the purpose behind your pain in this lifetime, but you can heal, you can grow, and you can flourish in spite of it. So whether you're crying over a lost kite or something much heavier, know this: all things work together for the good of them who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. All things. Even this, God sees, God knows, and none of it is wasted. There is purpose on the other side of your pain. And if you'd like some help getting to the other side of your pain, I'll leave some resources in the description box. God bless.